The black African Hebrews of Egypt and Ethiopia. From what period can we certify the existence of black Hebrews in Egypt and Ethiopia? It is certain that Israelites were in Egypt and Ethiopia during the period of King Takelot of Egypt, 23rd Tanite Dynasty, about 725 BC, and the prophet Isaiah of Jerusalem, because we read in Isaiah 11:11 that, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathos, upper Egypt, and from Cush, Ethiopia." In Isaiah 27 verse 13 we get the understanding that the outcasts of Judah are in the land of Egypt. In chapter 19 verse 18, the prophet is positive that 5 cities with Jews and Egyptian converts will accept the God of Israel and will speak the language of Canaan, Hebrew. About 70 years after Isaiah, the prophet Zephaniah 3 verse 10 says, "From beyond the river of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering." Many authorities have agreed that Zephaniah was speaking concerning the Jews who were dispersed and who colonized the region in and around Ethiopia. Since the Hebrew prophets and historians, for example, Josephus, knew that Jews were in Egypt and Ethiopia, the next question is, what are some of the theories concerning their arrival in these countries? The theories are as follows. King Solomon married the daughter of the king of Egypt. Obviously, this marriage was for economical and political reasons. 1 Kings 11, verse 1. Solomon wanted to maintain international peace, security, and commerce. It is probable that he arranged with Pharaoh, his father-in-law, to establish Jewish trade colonies on the Nile River. By the way, Solomon married the daughters of many kings to keep them under his economic and political control. In 1 Kings 9, verse 26, we read that King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion-Geber, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea in the land of Edom, and Hiram, the king of Tyre of Phoenicia, sent in the navy of his servants, shipment that had knowledge of the sea, with the servants of Solomon. And they came to Ophir, capital O-P-H-I-R, and fetched from thence gold 420 talents, and brought it to King Solomon. Many scholars have postulated that the land of Ophir is on the east coast of Africa. This would be in Ethiopian territory. It would appear highly probable that Solomon would establish trade colonies along the east and west coast of the Red Sea. Ancient Ethiopia had excessive gold deposits to satisfy Solomon's need. As has been mentioned previously, the Persian troops of Cambyses said the prisoners in Ethiopia wore fetters of gold. The Queen of Sheba visited Solomon. The fact that her visit occurred after the voyage of Solomon Hiram's navy to Ophir suggests that, in the mind of the writer, Ophir was associated with the territory of that rich Queen of Sheba. Apparently, when the navy of Solomon came to Ophir, the Queen of Sheba heard about the greatness of Solomon. Josephus, the Jewish historian, certified the fact that the Queen of Sheba was the Queen of Egypt and Ethiopia. This would mean that Jewish trade colonies were established in her territory. Josephus, who says that the royal city of the Ethiopians was Saba or Sheba. The two words are interchangeable. According to the Ethiopians and the black Jews of this country, the Queen of Sheba gave birth to a son of whom they say Solomon was the father. Moreover, they say that other black Jews accompanied the queen back to Ethiopia. The name of the child to whom she gave birth was Menelik. Years later, as the story is related, Menelik returned to Jerusalem for his education. On his return trip to Ethiopia, Solomon sent along with him some leading priests and officers. All of these events occurred during the 10th century BC. This was probably the first organized Jewish colony in Ethiopia. In this same century, Shishak, the king of Egypt, invaded Palestine. 1 Kings 14, verse 25. Without doubt, he must have transported many Jews to Egypt and Ethiopia because he took prisoners with him, and his army consisted of Libyans and Ethiopians. During the late part of the 8th or the early part of the 7th century, the Ethiopian general Tirhaka, capital Tirhaka, invaded Palestine and captured more than a few towns. The prophet Isaiah certainly knew what he was talking about when he spoke of the Israelites, exiles, and Tirhaka's country at that time. Even the advance of the mighty Assyrian army would motivate many Israelites to take refuge in Egypt, Libya, and Ethiopia. Again, the incursions of the powerful army of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon in the year 698-675 into Palestine undoubtedly caused rapid and numerous migratory waves of Israelites to flee into North and East Africa. In Jeremiah 44 verse 1, the prophet addresses the Jews in Egypt and the Jews that live in Pathos, which is southern Egypt. Jeremiah tells the Jews in the 11th verse that they are not saved from Nebuchadnezzar. This warning would naturally influence many Jews to migrate deeper into Ethiopia and the Sahara Desert. By the time of the prophet Zephaniah, about 630 BC, Ethiopia and the adjacent lands of Uganda and Kenya were swarming with black Jews. Zephaniah says, 3:10, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. This verse is an indication that the Israelites would be multiplying and making converts among the inhabitants beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. No doubt this prophet had communication with the Jews in this remote area. The rivers of Ethiopia connect with the Nile water system in the heart of Ethiopia. The Atbara River extends from the highlands of modern Ethiopia to the Nile. The Blue Nile extends from the direction of Addis Ababa in a northwestern direction toward the Nile. Near Uganda and the northern Congo is the Bahr Ghazal River, capital Ghazal River. It is 500 miles long. In southwest Sudan, formed by the confluence of the Bahr of El Arab and Jura, capital Jura rivers, and northwest Upper Nile. It flows east to unite at Lake No, capital N-O, with the Bahr, capital B-A-H-R-L rivers of Ethiopia. Moreover, are there any records or oral traditions of the existence of Jewish tribes deeply beyond the rivers of Ethiopia? Joseph J. Williams cites a particular case. He said, "There can be little doubt but that somewhere in the dim past, probably by way of Assyria, a wave of Hebraic culture penetrated to the Lake District of East Africa, if we may credit the following citations. Speaking of Uganda, to the west of Lake Victoria and northeast of the Belgian Congo, it has an organized native government with a tradition of 33 kings and a legendary line that traces back to King David. It is a proud history. The legends tell of the Uganda people crossing the Nile, remember, beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, centuries upon centuries ago, and subduing all tribes whose country they traversed. They claim the highest native civilization in Africa. The above report is highly credible in all its details, if we keep in mind what I have written pertaining to the Egyptian and Cushite Jews. The thing that might be questioned about the Uganda people is not their identity, but the vitality of the Jewishness of their religion.